Over the last few years, if you're a PlayStation gamer, you may have noticed that there have been a lot of decisions and tactics by Sony that are pretty anti-consumer. Recently, the biggest controversy, obviously, is their embarrassing stance on crossplay, which basically they seem to think instead of getting with the times and understanding that the market has changed to allow people from different consoles and backgrounds to play with one another through crossplay on multiple games, if you have, say an Xbox One or a Nintendo Switch, Sony refuses to allow the PlayStation 4 players to interact and play with other users, and of course this is not the only decision that I will be talking about, but it is the biggest one. So probably the biggest game that we've all seen this happen with is Fortnite. Obviously, there was an issue that people on PlayStation 4 had their Epic Games accounts locked basically by Sony, and were really just not allowed to log in with their Epic Games accounts on the Nintendo Switch when the game released. Let's also remember that this happened back in Rocket League. They did not allow PlayStation 4 players to play with Xbox One players. However, Sony seems to be entirely fine with players playing with people on PC because, you can play Fortnite, Rocket League, and other games with PC players, which doesn't seem to make sense because if you're so anti-crossplay and you believe that it really does hurt and affect your business negatively, why would you really even allow anyone on PC to play with PS4 users? It's obviously just a lie or a cop-out by Sony it's them basically saying, we don't want to do it because we for some reason think we're gonna lose money. Now it seems to be that their mentality on the whole idea of crossplay is that if they allow Xbox One, Nintendo Switch, whatever you play, players to play with PlayStation 4 players, that they're somehow gonna lose money. Players who own multiple consoles will for some reason just buy the game on a different console or buy microtransactions on a different console, and obviously Sony would not get the cut of that. Which doesn't seem to make a lot of sense because you would think that if that were the case and it had been documented that Xbox One and Nintendo would not really want to go ahead and do this either. Obviously, players have been wanting to play cross-platform on PlayStation for a long time, but as of the making of this video, this still has not happened, even though fans of the PlayStation platform have made a resounding push to get this issue fixed. On top of cross-platform, there are also some other decisions that they have pulled that just seem to almost spit in the face of gamers. One would be the ability to change your gamertag, or your online ID, whatever you really want to call it. Now obviously other platforms have had this forever. On Xbox, you can just pay to change your gamertag. On Steam, you can do it an unlimited amount of times for free. So I don't really see the whole big deal about doing this. The way that I see it, actually, it's a way for them to make more money. All you have to do is charge people like Xbox does, and that's just an extra source of revenue. This has been another heavily requested feature for probably about a decade now from PlayStation fans, that Sony has pretty much just turned a complete deaf ear to. Whenever they decide to get on board by doing this will be the day that PlayStation actually takes a pretty big W. That was horrible for me to say, but it's kind of the truth. A lot of us have made gamer tags, 10 years ago that we don't really resonate with anymore. I think it's possible that XX Sniper 4 2069 XX Noob Quick Scopes, whatever you want to say, is not really the same person he was when he was 11. So whenever Sony decides that they want to go ahead and listen to the community, they can go ahead and add that into the PlayStation as well. So why is Sony like this? Why does Sony decide that, even though their community really wants them to make these changes that kind of benefit all of gamers, why do they decide this isn't the case and that they don't want to do these things? It's pretty apparent that it's not really a hardware issue, as it's been proven multiple times that to enable crossplay, it's basically just a piece of code. They've actually done this by accident before. Back in December, you could play Fortnite with Xbox players for a few hours on your PS4 because for whatever reason it seems, they accidentally enabled crossplay. It's not a matter of if they could do it, it's why they don't do it, realistically. We live in the year 2018. It's not like the PlayStation 1 or 2 days where it was basically everyone just playing by themselves, there's people with different consoles that you're going to want to play with all the time. Your two other biggest competitors on the console market are literally making fun of you on Twitter for not having crossplay. I think it's pretty much time that you decide that having dominance on the market and having all these sales on the charts over everybody else doesn't really dictate whether or not you can just keep kind of ignoring the consumers. I'm telling you, I'm going to remember this. I do have an Xbox One. I'm gonna remember this when the next generation of consoles comes out. If I do buy a console, this is going to be something that I keep in mind. If Sony decides that they don't really want to get on board, this is going to be a major influencer for me to buy either a Nintendo or an Xbox. It just seems like at this point it's just Sony wanting to be Sony, and by being Sony that means ignoring what we really want. And it seems to quite literally contradict what actually won the PS4, the 8th generation of consoles. If you don't remember back when they were announcing the PS4 and the Xbox One. The Xbox One was kind of marketed as a glorified DVR, a cable box, if you will. At least one that had the capability to play the newest Halo, right? Well, the PS4 was marketed as the gamer's choice to play video games on, right? So if the PlayStation 4 is really the gamer's choice, why can't I play the upcoming Fallout 76 with my friends on Xbox from the luxury of my PlayStation? Because it's your fault that it won't have crossplay. Why can't I build in my Minecraft city world with fans from the Nintendo Switch, the Xbox, or the PC? This is an issue that they need to fix. They need to start listening back to these gamers who keep telling them this is what they want. Because if you don't, you're gonna drive us away. I'm sorry to tell you this, but your spot in first place for the next generation is not guaranteed. The PS3 did not do too well at the beginning, and it didn't really ever make up for what it lost, realistically. I don't think you want the PS5 to sell horribly, you know? So this is the part of the video where I tell you that you should get a PC, right? Even though I primarily play my PlayStation 4, and of course I still play my PC a lot. When I play on Steam, I don't have to pay $60 a year for PlayStation Plus because, well, all the online multiplayer is free. And on top of that, I can play with Xbox One players, PlayStation 4 players. It doesn't really matter. Games that have some sort of crossplay, I can generally play with some console friends. And on top of that, I have superior graphics, right? And not to mention the sales, right? I mean, the PlayStation will never be able to match the just sheer might of the Steam summer sale. There's nothing that can compare to PC gaming, guys. It's amazing. I've had so much fun PC gaming. And of course, I was being pretty much sarcastic through that entire thing, but it's kind of the truth. Look, I love PlayStation. I've been playing PlayStation since I was a very little kid. And of course, I still love my PC. This thing has been a complete monster over the year that I've had it. And just putting a 1080 in it has made the experience much more fulfilling, but I still love playing my PlayStation. I still love playing with my friends on the PlayStation, and to see these anti-consumer practices from Sony where they basically just ignore us over the most simplistic, basic features that should be on the console in the year 2018. I mean, it's just realistically absurd, and there's no reason that it should be happening except for the fact that Sony is going to be Sony. They're going to ignore what you want until you actually, you know, are teetering the line between buying an Xbox and a PlayStation and their bottom line gets hurt. That's really about it, guys. I don't think they're going to listen to any of our social media campaigns, any news articles, anything like that. You can go ahead and try sharing this video with PlayStation. Maybe it'll remind them of, you know, their little promise to PS4 gamers that they were the superior gaming platform. Maybe they'll kick it and actually decide that they want to be the superior gaming platform, at least for consoles. Because if they do finally decide that they want to listen to us and, you know, we get crossplay, we get the ability to change our gamer tags, we get a better deal on PS Plus. I mean, honestly, PS Plus isn't a horrible deal, but even then, we still pay, what, $60 a year more if you live in certain areas. The price keeps getting raised, it seems. Of course, you get the free games, but even then, are the free games worth it even when your money is supposed to be going towards some, like, secure servers and stuff? And PlayStation has more downtime than any other console? I mean, come on. If I'm gonna pay you $60 a year, at least give me something to play on. Steam has no problem doing this. And they're free. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. This was just a little bit of a rant video, I guess. I'm just now getting over the flu, or I don't even know what it was. It was some sort of cold, but I'm still not 100%. You probably heard it in this video, and on top of that, I also want to go ahead and tell you I am getting a new microphone. I noticed that this one is kind of shitting out. The quality is getting worse. Have had it for over a year, and, you know, I put a lot of wear onto it besides making YouTube videos, so I should sound a little bit different in the coming days, because not only will I be, you know, over the flu or over this cold, whatever it really was, but I'll also hopefully have a better quality mic. Anyways guys, regular content is coming back Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. I'm going to try and keep the upload schedule consistent with videos that kind of match the tone of the channel. Hopefully Sony decides to listen to us. If you did enjoy, make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're brand new around here, turn on notifications to see if YouTube will recommend all of my newest content to you as it happens. That means videos, live streams, all kinds of new content coming, guys. And hey, by the way, actually the Discord, we just updated it again. There's a whole bunch of new stuff going on in there. If you have not joined, go ahead and click the link in the description below. I launched some new Optimus merch with the new logo and redesign down below. It's probably being advertised below this video, but also make sure to follow me on Twitter for memes, thoughts, and updates at @subtooptimus. And until my next video, guys, this is Optimus, shaking my head at Sony, and signing out.